Shelby.
And I'm Courtney.
We're exploring our past.
Looking forward to our future.
And living for the present.
All while learning how to live magically.
Are we supposed to fix our intro, do a new one eventually?
Maybe we're supposed to do a new one. Also, I noticed, I don't know why I feel the need to do grand hand gestures during the intro, but I do.
I'm just thinking, this is we're close to 70 episodes. People have got to be sick of hearing that by now.
Well, what do you mean? We should rewrite it?
I don't know.
I mean, we could hire a professional voice actor to do it for us so it's not so jumbled.
You're right. That would be better, but
we'll work on that. Now accepting applications.
For a voice actor. What's up? What's going on? How are you? Oh, wait. I got something already.
Hit me.
I was just trying to think of what happened last week.
Yeah.
I need to give an update on the TSA pre-check.
Oh, no.
He wasn't there.
Oh.
I got a different lady.
That's a bummer. But was she normal?
Totally.
Oh, that's a disappointment, kind of.
We're cool, and I had Brooks with me, and she was yeah, she was cool.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But also kind of a letdown. I don't know.
I know. I really needed the end of that saga, but I guess we won't get it.
Bills for life.
Unless we're... Go Bills. Yeah, so that's...
What's the, just from a logistical standpoint, you did your interview. When do you get your stuff?
Okay, first of all, it wasn't an interview.
Well, right, but that's what they call it.
Actually, to be honest with you, when we were saying how simple it was, we were telling Reed and Ange about this, and Ange was I actually hate this.
Yeah, it's a little sketch. My rest and peace in this situation comes from the fact that I hope it is 98% a background check. They know everything about you because you give them your social, your all that info. So they know if you've ever lit a plane on fire or whatever.
But also and then you do your I did fingerprints there.
Right. That's what I mean. I think they know. The person is a formality.
Yeah. I guess. Anyhow, so I filled it out online. I went and did went to the Staples, and then I get an email saying it's approved or whatnot. And I got an email saying that it went to the government, and now I don't think I've gotten the email back yet, with my TSA number. So,
do you get a card? I have global entry, so we have a card.
I don't know if we'll get a card. Kyle still hasn't gotten a card. I know he got a number.
Okay. I mean, I don't use it. I just use the number. But
yeah, I was able to go add it to our reservation coming up, but I don't know.
Shout out to JetBlue because I don't remember my number. I don't have it in an email. The only place I have it is on my card, and there are two very similar numbers on my card. So I always forget which one is which and all these dumb things. So instead of actually knowing my number, I just go into JetBlue, who has it saved for me. And if I'm flying another airline, I just
copy
it from JetBlue and put it in another airline.
I'm the queen of Apple Notes. So
nice.
Kyle's was already in our shared Apple Notes.
Smart. So. I love that.
There's easier ways to do that.
True. Yeah, true. Because I always have to log in, and then there's it's a whole thing. Good idea. Okay. What else? What else?
Oh, we left baby.
Oh, yeah. You kind of hated it, didn't you?
Well, we lost a lot of money too, so that didn't really make. But no, I was more anxious leading up to it than once we were actually separated.
Well, that makes sense because once you're gone, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Right, and I mean, we were 2.5 hours away, so we would have had to come home. And
that's what I mean.
We're not doing that, so
yeah.
And he was fine. He slept through the night, and he even slept through the night at my parents' house. So clearly, he didn't miss us, and it was fine.
He's a simple man of simple needs.
I know. So Kyle has a bachelor party in April for like a weekend, so he'll be gone for like a longer period of time. And no, for our friend Pat. But then I have Ange's batch at the end of May for like a weekend, so it's gonna be like a long period of time without him.
Yeah.
And Ange like kindly said, "Are you gonna do another like trip away from him before that?"
Yeah.
So now we're trying to possibly plan like another one.
I approve of that, and I think it gets easier. Not that that's a bad thing, but like, just in what I've witnessed from other people who have kids, like, the first time with the first kid seemingly is like obviously the worst, but like once you get in the flow, it's fine.
And I know how I've mentioned this before, like no fear of like my mom taking care of him, like
no,
totally fine. I have a fear of like what if something happens to us, which is probably just a fear in general. But a more like mom guilt is a real thing.
Yeah.
But I also have been like reassuring myself of that. Of like, I'm so lucky. I stay home with him all the time. I'm with him 24/7. So there are people out there who like have no choice but to, when they're done with maternity leave, to go back to, and they're without their kids Monday through Friday or whatever.
Right.
So I reassure myself of like, if I am gone for a day, it is fine.
Yeah.
Him
totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
But yeah, we did that.
There's benefits to him to being around other people too, right? Like,
oh, absolutely.
It's good for everybody. It's good for you not to be like, because think about the anxiety if you never left your kid until they were like, I don't know, 5 or something, then it would be like debilitating.
Exactly. That's why I really had to like rip the Band-Aid off early, since I knew that I have like Ange's badge. We have their like there's already like trips on the book that he's not coming with us on, so like I knew I needed to rip the Band-Aid off, and I wanted to do it before like I go on that trip, that would be so
respect.
But we went to Mohegan Sun. We celebrated Christmas, our anniversary, and Valentine's Day, and lost a ton of money, which was really stupid.
Amazing.
And yeah, it was a real bummer. It was a real bummer.
Well, was any of it good besides the gambling part? Like, you did a comedy show, right?
Yeah, that was the good part. So we saw Matt Rife, which was hilarious. Loved him. And we ate at Hash House in the morning. Those were the good parts.
Yeah. And that's like throwback to your wedding vibes.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, so there were some highlights.
Yeah, slot machines just really hated us, so that was not fun.
Did Kyle do slots, or did he play tables?
He played tables like a couple times, but it was just him and I on the trip, so he doesn't like leave me a lot,
That's like, nice of him, but also like when I go to a casino, I definitely leave my husband. I'm like, I'm going to play roulette, you go read a book.
No, he's every once in a while he'll like want to play a table game, so he'll like find me a slot that he knows I like that's like in his view, so he can.
Yeah.
But no, it was just luck was not on our side.
That's all right, because luck in life was on your side. Big shout out to Kyle for his promotion at work.
Yeah, so he's got promoted,
which he is well earned, well deserved.
Yeah. He's only been at the company for like a little over a year, and this is his second promotion. And really, where he is now, he can't really move up anytime soon because he's in a manager role. So there's one director, and ideally, his director never leaves because we really like him. So
nice.
Big moves in the Rem household.
Amazing. Congrats to Kyle.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? That's what's going on here.
I love it. I again had to think because I was like nothing, but actually a lot. I'm gonna go in reverse order. So, KG was here. It was Run Disney Princess Weekend.
More FOMO.
So much FOMO this one. And also shout out to everybody who ran. The costumes were great. The vibes were great. it again reminded me of like why we love Run Disney.
I know. I'm like motivated to get on the tread. Maybe not, but
I know we need to get back on our motivation train for real.
ugh. Okay.
It's tough. I did hear just like one little story about the half on the internet that makes me nervous. Somebody said they got swept before mile 1.
What?
I thought they gave you like a little cushion.
I thought the only place you get like swept is that corner where all the buses are parked.
Allegedly, this was like the 10K, and it was like a rolling sweep. I don't know, scary stuff. So know your pace. I mean, I see both sides of it, right? Like Disney tells you the pace you have to keep. So if you can't keep, and I'm victim to being slow. Like it's not me being like, if you suck, then you suck. Like,
yeah,
it's not that, but at least you know what you need to do ahead of time. And if that means like you don't character stop or you don't go to the bathroom, like that's what you're doing.
and I guess if you're on mile 1 and you're like super duper slow, like mile 1 is usually probably your fastest mile.
See, I feel like it is usually our fastest, but it's also like one of my hardest.
I know because you're getting started, but I'm just saying if they see you like super duper struggling on mile 1,
Yeah.
they're probably, you don't have another 5
Right.
miles.
Right. True. I just like, what a nightmare.
That's horrible because you shouldn't have had to wake up that early.
Right. Like, damn it. Some other exciting Run Disney takeaways. A girl that I went to grade school with, I sent you this because I'm like bragging about her so hardcore. Her name is Kelsey, and she came in 13th. Like, how does that even happen?
I know.
Amazing. And she just had a baby. She like has pictures in her Elsa costume, like with the baby. I'm like, this is so cute. Amazing.
Built different. She is built different.
Well, I actually messaged her and said like, you know, you're amazing, whatever. And she was like, oh, this is nothing. Like my fastest half marathon would have won this thing. I was like, oh, okay. Yes, we won't be running together anytime soon. But very cool. Again, congrats to everybody. Hope everybody had as much fun as it looked.
Yeah.
Super jealous.
And that weather, like my ideal running weather.
Same. Like some people were saying they were cold. I was like, I'd rather be frozen than like cooking.
Same.
So, okay. So KG came in for the weekend. She brought her BFF from Boston, Meg. I love Meg. She's my new best friend. And shout out to Meg. AJ and I went into Epcot on, I think it was Friday night or Thursday night. Friday night, I think.
Yeah.
Because Soarin' over California is leaving.
Oh, okay.
So we wanted to do like one last banger. Gotta see Soarin' over California. It's my preferred visual over Soarin' over the World. So we did that. We like did a couple other random things, and then we went over, ran into KG, who was surrounded by like 10 people. I was like, KG, you are a celebrity. I need you to stand down. We like tapped her on the shoulder, and immediately all the people went away. So I was like, do I smell? Is something wrong? But it was fine. Got to meet Meg. We were hanging out. We met them in Paris, France. And then why did I say Paris? That was weird. Then we walked to the UK. We go into Rose and Crown, which I haven't been in since I was like a toddler.
Yeah.
There's like a whole situation. They knew what they were doing. We like got a beer, and we said hi to these people with light up lanyards because we were like, why are all these people wearing light up lanyards? This is cool. And they are in town for some like lawyer convention. And the situation there was that it was like a different lawyer's job at every country to like arrive early, order a ton of alcohol and food for all the people. And then like they come in, they like house the place, and then they move to the next country.
Oh my gosh.
So cut to us taking like Irish carb free, unlimited free drinks with these lawyers, like, and we're like racing. We're doing like car bombs where you have to like drop the thing in the thing and like chug it, which is so not Disney, but like hilarious.
My
It
God.
was just a wild experience. And they had to run a race in the morning.
And they did.
And they did. They totally did. So hilarious experience all around. I love free drinks, so that was a plus in my book. And I got to see KG and Meg.
Oh,
yeah, a win-win. We tried to FaceTime you.
I know.
You clearly have a life, so we understood, and probably you wouldn't have wanted to talk to us, but it was great.
No, I wish I didn't miss it.
It was hilarious.
Gosh.
And then my friend was here for her audition. She unfortunately did not get it, but like I cannot wait for her to come back and do it again. But while she was in her audition, I was like a nervous mother and like needed to be distracted because I was just like so nervous. So I took myself to Animal Kingdom and I did Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo back to back.
Okay.
It was awesome. I loved it. I cried in both shows like a loser by myself in a corner. Okay. I took lots of content, whatever, but it really made things rough. I had to do a lot of introspection. You know, okay. I'm team Nemo, like for sure, for life. Yeah. But Festival of the Lion King is a banger.
I've been trying to tell you that.
I mean, I always like knew, but I guess just because I haven't seen it in a while, I forgot. I don't know. It was amazing. I loved it.
Value is
big. Yeah, agree. It was
but
great.
Both of your stories combined, our first argument on Festival of the Lion King was on KG's podcast over her Mouse Madness, and quick shout, Mouse Madness is open on her page right now, so if you want to be involved. And this year she's taking, I believe it's like to be involved in it, you have to donate to her, which because she's running the Boston Marathon. But if you win Mouse Madness, you get like a stay.
Yeah. I think it's like during a holiday weekend at Old Key West, she like books and blesses you. It's amazing.
It's worth the donation to her running the freaking Boston Marathon. But Mouse Madness signups are, I believe by the time this like airs, it's probably ending like today.
That day, right.
So
yeah, get on there. You can find her. She's living the KG life on Instagram. She's also on podcasts and all those. Her podcast is great, especially if you're a Run Disney person, but just a Disney person in general. She has all the vibes.
Remind me or you to share. We'll share the Mouse Madness in our Facebook group.
Oh yeah, smart.
So
the theme this year is characters, so it's going to be like face to face Mickey versus Goofy. I don't know. Whatever it is.
I'm actually really excited for this one because it was so like I really didn't have to do much thinking when I was going through and picking my picks because it was really easy to me. But then I'm like, I don't know. People are. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Especially if like Figment gets involved.
That's who I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get dicey.
Yeah. So
can't wait.
Anyhow,
I'll see you there.
Okay.
Those are my updates. What, do you got anything else?
I don't think so. I thought I interrupted you, but
no, just like we love Animal Kingdom and great vibes. I had realized I hadn't seen the Nemo show since it's been redone. They like shortened it a little bit and they took out some of my favorite parts, but but it was still great. Everything was on point. Amazing.
In that one scene where it's Taylor vibes, as if she's coming out from her opening.
Oh, yeah. yeah. With the fans. I love that. Yeah. They were there. So the fans have not left. But do you know how they are like two guys that are swordfish and they're like sword fighting? Oh.
I haven't seen it.
You don't remember. I'm so disappointed in you. They're gone. Also, there's a mom joke that you would appreciate now that's gone where it's like an octopus and she's like on the phone talking to her friend, and then her baby's like crying, and she's like, "Not now, honey. Mommy only has 8 hands." Gone. Was a true joke though. I loved it.
You
So,
understand. You like know the jokes. Okay.
oh, I know the whole thing. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Last episode also we did about tours. So if you didn't listen to that, go give it a listen. We're having a pretty fun little discussion in our pod group.
I know. So many active members this week. Thank you.
So many. Yeah. Thank you for being there. And also thank you for reminding us of all the tours we forgot about.
Well, okay. Yes, to that. But one of them was Disneyland tour, and we weren't doing Disneyland tours. We were only discussing
No, you're right.
world tours.
You're right. But people named world tours that I forgot about, like Marceline to Magic Kingdom. Forgot all about that. And somebody said it was their favorite one.
Is that the one about the trains?
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
I don't know. But it really just makes me sad because like so many tours got cut because of COVID.
And I don't know why that is. I don't get it.
That can no longer be the excuse for things.
I agree. I want to know. I have a lot of questions about COVID cuts. Like Animal Kingdom was like a banger of a nighttime park, and now nothing.
I was just thinking that because we kept discussing that during our Animal Kingdom episode, and I just can't. COVID is no longer the excuse for all these changes at the parks. Speaking of a change at the parks, did you see in like 2025, if you book a stay at Disney, you get into like, don't quote me on this, but you get into the water parks on the day that you arrive, I believe it was, for free.
Yes, I did see that. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Okay, so what are they pushing? For you to get into the water parks or for you to stay on property? Or both? But like which one?
Well, my inclination is that like water parks probably get dead the later in the day they go, and also they close pretty early too. Like I feel like water parks are always done by 5.
You're right.
So it's kind of like a ripoff unless you're flying in early, like a gimmick, not a ripoff, but and also Disney offers for locals here like an Epcot after 4 or a Parks after 4 ticket. Yeah. So I think they just like expect lower traffic in the evenings maybe or something. So it's like easier for them to offer like a dead zone time.
Yeah. I've never been to the water parks, so.
I have only done Typhoon Lagoon and only for an after hours event one time.
Yeah, I've never done them, and like water parks aren't really my thing, but
same.
I will sit in a lazy river. So
literally me, like so I went with Victoria and my niece Maddie, and they like love adventure and water rides and whatever. And the older I get, the more I'm like, number 1, germs. Number 2, enclosed water spaces. Like I'm just paranoid that I'm going to be the one that like drowns in the water and whatever. So I stayed in the lazy river and they rode the rides and all had a great time.
I could sit in a lazy river all day. So
yeah. If just a little side note, you need to look into Atlantis, which is in the Bahamas, which is like 2 feet from here. They have a lazy river that's bananas. It has like an escalator in it. Like your tube goes like up a ramp and like it's like miles and miles long. There's like rapids. It's a whole situation.
That's my vibe.
Yeah, my vibe too.
Anyways, all right.
What are we doing today?
We're hope you're hungry.
Hope you're hungry. We're talking about Disney park food.
You have a plan, so jump on into it.
I have a plan. I have a little outline, and then you are like here with me in the magic.
All right.
This was inspired, I will say, almost entirely because I watched Behind the Attraction. I recommend everybody watches that series on Disney Plus. And they have a whole episode about food.
So I believe this must be like a new season, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I have not watched the new season, so I will put that on my list for Brooks.
Yeah, add it to your list. It's only like 4 or 5 episodes long, but nighttime spectaculars are covered. Ooh. Epcot is covered. Yeah, it's actually really funny to watch the Nighttime Spectaculars episode because it's clearly like right in the middle of when they're cutting Harmonious. Because like it starts with this like big ramp up about how amazing Harmonious is and like the taco barges and stuff, and then they say like, we've had to take it away because it was the end of the 50th, and I'm like, okay.
Ooh,
Anyway,
it was happily ever after in there.
no, I don't think so, or else I wasn't paying attention. But I don't think so. It was like parades. Main Street Electrical Parade is in there. The Disneyland Paris nighttime light up parade. There's like different. They show the drone show in Paris.
Yeah.
So it's like a little bit of everything.
I'll give it a watch.
Give it a watch. Okay. We are going to go all the way back to 1955. Do you know what happened in 1955?
Disneyland opened.
You nailed it. So Walt opens the park and gives the big speech, right, to all who come to this happy place welcome. And in that speech, he says, where the food is as fabulous as the fun.
Okay.
So, like, sets the tone early on that food is going to be important, right?
Yes.
However, he basically outsources, I think this is genius, all of the restaurants and what he calls feeding operations. Quick service and table service wasn't a thing then. It was just feeding operations. And he gets them all to be sponsored by like external companies. So it's not like, what we know today, like Be Our Guest, which is like a very thematic Disney themed restaurant. It's more like Casa de Fritos is one of them, run by the Frito-Lay company.
Right. So they came in, from what I'm understanding, they came in and they did all the food.
Right.
So they got the money for the food.
Yes. And one thing I noticed in my reading was like, so one of the big sponsors was Swift's Premium Chicken, and it was like a whole restaurant full of meats. And when they left Disneyland, or when their contract expired, Disneyland was able to actually like lower prices because they didn't owe basically like a premium for premium meats.
Yeah. No,
that's very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But such a smart move from a fundraising perspective to be able to fund the parks. And we know like, especially Epcot was also very heavily sponsor oriented for a while.
And I feel like, don't quote me on this, but like California Adventure is sort of like that for their like festivals.
Are they?
Maybe not, but I'm just like kind of remembering.
Well, even now, it's interesting. I always like laugh when I see a sponsorship now because they used to be everywhere. I mean, do you remember when the Epcot ball used to say Siemens on it?
Right.
Like it was like a big deal. And each pavilion like had their own sponsorship lounge. Like if you were a member of Siemens, you could like go to a private lounge. Now it's not a thing. But like Otterbox sponsors the otter exhibit at Animal Kingdom now.
Well, that one makes sense.
Makes sense, but also like random. Like why that?
But that's what Happily Ever After is presented by like Pandora.
Right. Right. Just like interesting what gets the sponsorship. Anyway, some of the feeding operations were Casa de Fritos, which was a Mexican themed restaurant. It is rumored that is where Doritos were invented. Did you know this?
I'm not gonna believe that.
Well, so allegedly they like were bringing in tortillas because Mexican restaurant, and they were like expiring. And so somebody said like, I'm going to fry these up and put some, like the seasoning packet you use for tacos.
Yeah.
Like some of that on there. And then they like became a thing. I don't know. I didn't find like a confirming study, but I did find a lot of hype about it. So
I feel like that would be more talked about.
I've heard it a lot. You haven't heard that rumor?
Oh,
I feel like I hear that one all the time.
All right.
Some other named places. Carnation Ice Cream Parlor. So Carnation used to be, that's in Disneyland. These are all Disney. Carnation used to be like a brand of ice cream through Nestle, I think. Now it's like an instant milk or whatever, a condensed milk.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but so that was there. There was a Maxwell Coffee House shop. Aunt Jemima's
Starbucks.
Yeah, now there's a Starbucks, right? Aunt Jemima's Pancake House.
Oh.
And then my favorite, Chicken of the Sea pirate ship. Like,
Okay.
wow. So those were pretty special little things I heard about. Also, shout out to one of the people in our pod group, Emily Flatt. She told me about the Tam-O Shanter, which is a restaurant in LA
Okay.
that's near the original Disney studios. And I did a little bit of research into that. I guess there's a whole table there called Table 31 that the Imagineers and the original animators, like the guys, the old men, used to sit at every day for lunch because that's what they're called, the 7 old men or something, the 9, however many old men there are. They would get together every day for lunch at this restaurant because Disney Studios didn't have like a commissary on the lot. So I guess there are like little carvings and the tables and stuff from these dudes that were like defacing the restaurant, but they were famous, so they were allowed. Anyway, I would love to go there. I guess it's a very thematic place, and some inspiration for the Snow White Cottage was drawn from that location.
That is very.
So yeah, and like it's still there today, and people don't really know about it, I guess. So Table 31 at the Tam-O Shanter. Got it?
Got it.
Great. Now, I want to focus on some famous treats.
Okay, let's do this.
We're going to start with the most iconic, which is...
There could be a couple.
All right, well, give me one.
A Mickey Premium Bar.
No, but we'll go there.
Mickey Pretzel.
Also no, but we'll go there. What about
Dole
Mickey?
Whip.
You're just talking about Mickey-shaped foods. Let's talk about Mickey-shaped foods.
Okay.
I don't think they... Yes, a Dole Whip. A Dole Whip. But you want to do the Dole Whip? We'll do the Dole Whip.
Was that the answer?
Yeah.
To the question? Okay.
That's the answer to the question. The Dole Whip. So, the Dole Whip actually is obviously iconic. People like love and stan the Dole Whip. It was not invented until 1984 here in Florida.
Really?
Yeah, and basically the shtick was at Disneyland they did ice cream, like vanilla ice cream, whatever. And in both parks they did Dole drink, like juice, like you could get a glass of pineapple juice, or you could get a pineapple spear for 25 cents. Jerks.
Good old days.
I know. When they came over here, they had like limited access to refrigeration, and it's like so freaking hot and whatever that Disney actually like tasked Dole to come up with like a non-dairy, it's called like a dry mix treat. So basically some powder that you dump into the machine that gets frozen and makes what we know as Dole Whip. So,
interesting. I thought it was literally made at the Dole site in Hawaii.
It's not, I mean, according to Behind the Attraction, which is a good source, right? Because it's Disney. Allegedly, it was invented for Florida in 1984, and then they took it to Disneyland in 1986.
But you can get it in Hawaii at...
Yes. Well, now Dole Whip is like crazy hype. Yeah. Like people can get it locally. Yeah.
But it's butt.
It is, yeah, it's not the same.
So gross.
So interesting that it started it started like in Adventureland, right, at the one singular location, and now you can get Dole Whips everywhere. Like,
not everywhere. Yeah, actually everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can get them at home, but also you can get them at Magic Kingdom, and you can get them in different flavors. So now Dole Whip doesn't just refer to pineapple; it also refers to like the strawberry or the raspberry one and the orange one, and you can also get them at the Polynesian.
Yep, with alcohol.
With alcohol, they just did an awesome one that I missed with a sparkling red wine at the Polynesian. Yeah, for Valentine's Day. I was like, that sounds good. Yeah. You can get them at Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them at Disney Springs.
And Epcot.
You can get them at Epcot, I think only during the festivals.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. I think that was also one of the first locations where they did Dole Whip with rum.
That sounds right.
Man, that was like a pretty hot take. People really like that.
Yeah, obviously.
Now, the ultimate question, do you like Dole Whip?
I do, yeah.
Like, love it? Gotta get it every time?
I feel like when I first started coming to the parks all the time, it was like I had to get it all the time. And then it kind of meh.
Yeah, it's like a
I
long
stopped
line.
it. Yeah, and it like I just kind of like fell off the bandwagon. I was a big Dole Whip float gal, but
Me
with like
too.
vanilla ice cream and pineapple juice. Too much pineapple hurts my tongue.
Yeah,
But I mentioned this before. The swirl, it was like it's the original Dole Whip with I believe raspberry swirl that Casey told me to get in Magic Kingdom was like it's so good.
it is good. I think
So
that came out for the Hey Hey cone,
yeah,
maybe.
but they still have it. Like it's not on the menu, but you can ask for it, and it's so good.
That sounds amazing. I want a Dole Whip, and I don't even like Dole. I mean, I like it, but same as you. Like, I don't even like candy.
Yeah,
I'm not getting it.
there's no more like I feel like it used to be way hyped, and it's not as hyped anymore.
I think it's still hyped. I think like we just are off the hype.
Okay,
Like people, I mean, Kate was here like last week, 2 weeks ago, and the line for Dole Whips was literally like out the door and around the corner. I mean, there's no
they
door, the
also
metaphorical door.
yes, I get it. But you can mobile order your Dole Whips.
No more.
What?
Yeah, maybe at Sunshine Tree Terrace you can, but not at Aloha
Oh,
Isle Refreshments.
dang. Okay.
I know, rough times.
Yeah.
So that's Dole Whip. The next food that is like famous is a Disneyland thing in my mind, but we have them
Churro.
here, but it's like not the same. Yeah, the churro.
Yeah.
Nailed it. I feel like you're gonna love this story.
Okay.
So this was 1985. So we got Dole Whip in 84, churros in 85. The guy who didn't invent the churro, but like brought the churro to Disneyland is named Jim Lohman, and he loved like racing, like car racing.
Okay.
And so he was like on a break and went to see the Long Beach Grand Prix. And they had churros, but they were like little dinky 6-inch churros. Um, he loved them, liked them, loved them, gotta have them,
Okay.
and was looking for a treat. This also blew my mind for a place at Disneyland called Videopolis. Do you remember this?
No.
I don't either. It was like in the 80s and it was like a hot spot for teens. It was like a teen dance club
At Disneyland.
at Disneyland. There was like stacks
Okay.
of television sets, big loud music, like a vibe, like a dance club situation. And they had a little cart restaurant booth outside called Yums, and it was like all teen food, like pizza and hot dogs and popcorn and whatever. He wanted
Yeah.
like a sweet treat, so he tried the churro. He engineered the churro to be 14 inches instead of 6. So that was like a Disneyland thing,
To
like the
make them
big,
full.
yeah, to make them like big and long so you can direct traffic with them. And they sold out in the first day.
I believe it.
So like churros have been a hot spot the whole time. And now you can get a churro like baked, fried, topped, plopped, whatever you
And
want. They have it.
I'll never understand why a Disneyland churro is out of this world when a Walt Disney World churro just is not the same. Like, why?
I would literally never get a churro at Walt Disney World.
I feel like a churro at Walt Disney World is like frozen or something.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the heat differential. So like California is also hot, but here it's like exceptionally hot, and so I
Yeah,
just
but
can't
like,
imagine eating like a hot fried food while
oh,
I'm sweating.
that doesn't make a difference for me. It's
Wow.
but also I need you to go. Well, I'll wait until May, but they have all these s'mores themed foods at Animal Kingdom right now,
I
and
know.
is a churro, and I just
Yeah.
wonder if they like up their game on the churro before they topped it. But
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to know. Maybe it's like a different bakery or a different something. Maybe they don't sell as fast, so they're like hard or something. I don't know. Just but a churro at Land hits so different.
It's different.
Yeah. Okay, this is a weird one, and I don't really have any information to share except one thing. But the turkey leg.
We don't need any information on this.
We don't need any information. The movie, I thought it was hilarious. Basically, they said like the roasting process is secret and unique and it makes it like very tasty. I've never had one. I will never have one. I don't want to know what it tastes like, but people love it. And the whole shtick is like it's an experience to eat, and it's also an experience to be seen eating.
Which they're not wrong, I guess.
I know. I was like, you got that right.
Not the experience I'm looking for at Disney.
Me neither. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get like medieval vibes when I'm at Disney. I don't want to remember Henry VIII. I don't like none of it. I don't know why it happens.
No.
But my one fun fact that I came across was in Shanghai post COVID. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's still in effect. I don't know. But they had like big signs out that there were a 2 per person limit daily on turkey legs. Like, were people reselling the turkey legs? Was there a turkey leg shortage? Did all the turkeys get COVID? Like, why?
I have a lot of questions.
Me too. Also, I like don't historically think of any Asian country as like that big of a meat eater, like big meat on stick. So that like throws me for a loop. I just like didn't know that was a thing. I don't know. It seems like very American to me. Like meat, the big meat.
Yeah, and we'll like walk around with it in our mouths. Gross.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's stop talking about it. Do you know what Walt's favorite treat was?
I do not.
It's an easy one. It's everywhere.
Did I already say it?
No, it's the most commonly sold food. Like
popcorn.
You could buy it. Yes, popcorn. Walt live, laugh, loved for popcorn. He always wanted it. He loved the smell. He loved how it added to the vibe, the whole thing. He was a popcorn stan. Now there are all these flavors, which I feel like back to Shanghai, Tokyo, whatever. A lot of them started over there, like the not butter, like not straight butter flavors. Like they have soy sauce. People like stand for the soy sauce popcorn. I think it sounds good. Soy sauce is like salty and good.
I don't like so.
Oh, you're weird.
I know.
But they have so many kinds over there, and now we're getting them over here too. Like, have you been here since we've had the popcorn? I don't know what it's called, but the popcorn mixing location at Magic Kingdom?
Yes, I've done it.
You've done it?
Yeah.
And?
It's cool, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's really like a flavored popcorn. It's like you're putting toppings in your popcorn.
Well, you pick a flavor when you start.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they have at least 4.
All I know is that the best popcorn on property is in Germany.
Oh, hot take. I mean, I agree with you, but some people would say that the best popcorn on property is the maple popcorn in Canada.
Okay, that one probably is good, but nothing is better than the fresh caramel popcorn in Germany.
And what's the store called where it's sold?
Like isn't it Carmel, but with a K? Carmela, Carmelo, Carmel.
What's the second part?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. You're not even living up to my joke. It's called like caramel coochie or something. I think that's hilarious. I love it. I gotta say it every time.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, it's with 2 Ks. Caramel coochie or something. I need a German expert. We gotta call Aya. It's caramel coochie. That's what it is.
I love
great spot
there.
You can mobile order there now.
Great.
So yeah, good to know. And also with popcorn, the buckets.
Yeah, we've discussed this. We'll never.
Just like They've gotten crazy.
Did you see that new one though?
The Chip and Dale one?
And it's a Chippendale like Easter one. It's really cute, and it's here and not in Tokyo.
Yeah, I know. I sent it to you and you were like, definitely Tokyo. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe. And then somebody else, I think KG, sent it to us and was like, Disneyland. And I was like, oh, that means it's coming. I haven't seen it in the parks yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
It's so cute, and I wish I didn't already have an Easter basket for Brooks, because that is a multi-purpose item right there. I don't even want
You already have an Easter basket for Brooks?
Easter isn't like the end of the month.
The end of March?
March is literally on Friday.
I mean, I know, but like we're not there yet. This is so funny because also I was talking to you about Easter themed merch, and you were like, Easter's over.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not even Valentine's Day yet.
But in the merch world, if I didn't do it, then it's done.
Right. No, I hear that, especially with like like how long it takes till you design something, then produce something, then get it shipped or just print it, or I know. But
anyways.
Okay, and then my last little food category is what you said first, which is just like Mickey shaped foods.
People will go bonanza for a Mickey shaped anything.
Name them. Just like list them off. What do you got?
Premium bar. Duh.
The best.
The pretzel.
Yes. You can get the ice cream sandwich.
The ice cream sandwich.
You can get
Crispy treat.
Rice Krispie treat. Yes. You can get apparently they sell like 1 million Mickey shaped macaroons in Disneyland.
They're so good.
Oh, I've never had one.
Land has the snacks down.
I agree with that. They do have a great food game.
The snack game.
Yeah. They don't have the space to have bad stuff.
I guess, but like come on.
I agree. I could excuse me, I could subsist on Disneyland snacks for like a day of food, like without a restaurant.
I will gladly do that.
Here I could do that like Epcot. That's it.
During a festival.
That's what I mean.
All the time.
All the time. Constant festival.
But if you're like snacks you can find good snacks at Animal Kingdom now, actually. But
I agree. I mean, I love the food at Animal Kingdom, but I don't know about a lot of like snack. I guess like seasoned fries are good.
Well, they have like all those different like slushy drinks at that one place. But I always see maybe they're not. No, I would still call them snacks, but they're like they're more like small meals. I don't know.
Yeah, like Smeals. I do feel like they have Smeals. Smeals.
And same thing at Hollywood Studios. They've upped their game there with some Smeals.
Yeah.
But Magic Kingdom, it's all about
garbage.
Like there's snack carts everywhere, and they're not good.
With one honorable mention.
Cheeseburger spring roll.
Yes. I posted like a story about that we were doing this episode before we went live, and everybody is like, spring roll, spring roll, spring roll, spring roll. Like, all of it.
I mean, those are good. Don't get me wrong.
Those are great.
They're great. Yeah. But that's going to be like a Dole Whip to me soon.
Yeah. Well, also because you've made them at home now, so they're not like special.
Yeah, then maybe that was my mistake, because I really think the ones I made at home were like better than the ones there.
Well, probably. Because like, think about the logistics. They had to like make them backstage, heat them up, wheel them into a cart. You had to wait in line. The whole thing.
You're right. Okay.
But yeah, that's like the one honorable mention for Magic Kingdom snack cart is the spring rolls.
Yes.
Are you Mickey's premium ice cream bar or Mickey's cookies and cream ice cream sandwich?
I could do either, but I would probably choose a premium bar.
Me too. Mostly for the gram, but
I agree. But you can now also buy those at the grocery store.
Yes. Which is like cool, but also like a ripoff. Like,
yeah, but now like talking about that out loud, it's kind of a bummer.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, just like you said, is I made the cheeseburger spring rolls at home. So now the ones in the parks like don't hit the same. And
Right.
it's the same thing as the premium bars. Granted, I will say the ones, of course, at the parks are better than what you're going to buy at the grocery store, but it's
Yes.
still like, I don't know, it's like special when you get to go to the parks and get a Mickey premium bar, not when you're like at the grocery store, you can buy a box of 6.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
And
I think there's a lot to be said for like the atmosphere in which you consume the food.
yeah, it just like doesn't hit the same. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I'm with you. And then my last Mickey shaped food question is I've seen many photos of them, but I've never seen one in the wild. Have you? A Mickey shaped pizza.
oh, not the pizza, but at Land they have that loaf of bread
Oh, yeah, they do have that loaf of bread.
that's Mickey shaped.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But
I'm here for the pizza, though.
oh, I already love pizza. Now make it Mickey shaped. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. And like, allegedly, it's so iconic that it's on shirts and stuff. Like the new food line, they have like Mickey pizzas. And I'm like, who's eating Mickey pizza?
Well, like over in like Tokyo, their shaped food are
Oh my gosh.
oh,
Yeah, they actually on this show, I didn't even include it, but on the show they showed dim sum. They have like a dim sum restaurant, Lotus, Crystal Lotus or something restaurant, and they make a limited number every day of 8, like a meal of 8 dim sums, and they're all shaped after different characters. There's 4 sweet and 4 savory, and
amazing.
like there's like a Mickey and a Minnie and a Baymax and a green alien man, and
So good.
they're so cool.
I do think now that we're talking about Mickey shaped food, one, they're missing out on money at both
Yeah.
at like Land and World because so many things if you just make it shaped like Mickey, it'll go.
Yes. Yes. Well, and that's a big thing that they touched on kind of to wrap up their episode was like food has always been important, but now it is number one, just as much of an attraction as a ride. Like people come with the expectation that they're gonna get a Dole Whip.
Yeah. I
or
agree.
whatever. That's like very much part of your experience. You gotta ride Guardians and you gotta get a Dole Whip. Or whatever your thing is. You gotta get a Jack's cookie. You gotta whatever.
I totally agree. It's like we're planning our trip. We haven't been down in almost a year, and I'm like already thinking about all the food that I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, right. Like, because it's just as much part of the experience.
Yes.
And the other thing they said is like, now that social media is so big, especially like Instagram with photos, they are thinking a lot harder about how food looks, how it photographs, like what the image is, how they're being seen.
And that's another reason why if they make it Mickey shaped, it will
Right.
go fly off.
Right. People want their picture of like them with the Mickey food in front of the castle or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
They want the vibe.
Agreed.
I love it. My last little section, well, I love how they have feeding, whatever I said they were called, feeding operations. That's what Walt called the restaurants.
Yeah.
And then in particular, he also invented this concept of thematic feeding. So at Disneyland, they built Blue Bayou, which I've never eaten at, but it's the restaurant that's inside of Pirates.
Yeah.
And they actually built it with that in mind. And Blue Bayou actually was completed before Pirates, but they wouldn't let Blue Bayou open until Pirates was complete because you can see in the ride and that's part of the experience. Yeah. But Walt, kind of ran with this idea, and then the people after him ran with this idea of you should be immersed in the experience for as long as possible. So you shouldn't ride Pirates, be in a pirate adventure, whatever, and then walk outside and eat a hot dog on the street.
Yeah.
You should stay in the moment, be the thing. And now we have great, amazing examples of that. Be Our Guest, they have shitty food, but an amazing vibe.
Yeah. Or the best of the best would be Space 220.
Oh yeah, Space 220, totally independent concept, right? Not off IP, nothing like that, but such a vibe.
You are immersed in that one.
You are immersed visually. The food is immersive.
Yeah.
They do a lot of like gimmicky, cool effects with the food.
So good.
Yeah, it's a vibe. And then for this episode, I just want to wrap with some facts about Walt himself.
Okay.
Fascinating thing. So I think we all kind of know Walt is like a meat and potatoes kind of guy. He like very rugged, very manly, very like man of that period in time where you just
Right.
like eat to live. You don't live to eat, right?
Yeah. Like us now.
Like right. I guess he obviously worked like long days in the studio, long days building the park, whatever. And so he could often be found walking around eating out of a literal tin can of chili. That was like his vibe. He just would like eat chili out of a can. And sometimes he could be found eating out of multiple cans because he like liked the mixed flavor of like 2-in-1 or whatever.
Canned chili.
Yeah. Canned chili, which I think is wild. And I learned about Thelma Howard, who I never knew about before. And she was nicknamed Fufu, but she was the Disney family's live-in chef and like house manager.
Okay.
Starting in 1951, so before Disneyland even opened.
Oh, yeah.
And she just like did all the food stuff and house stuff for the household, which makes me wonder what Lillian Disney was doing, but I'm sure she was busy. So Fufu would make food, but when she was hired, Walt gave her 2 pages of like lists of foods he liked, which basically read spam, roasted meat, whatever, like lots of basic meat foods.
Yeah.
She iconically like hung them on the fridge, and so people have photographs of them today. We know like what the list was.
Yeah.
And like the most famous rule on the list was only 1 vegetable per meal. He like only wanted 1.
All right.
So that's Walt. She, I guess, died a multimillionaire, due to being gifted stock from Walt over time that like, and he like would give it to her for her birthday or, whatever. Yeah. And she believed in him so hard that she like wouldn't sell a dime of it.
Wow.
She like died with it. And so I guess that now there's like a charity that offers scholarships in her name and all these things, which is really amazing. But she was basically like a humble woman that, lived frugally and stuck to a budget. She didn't like live lavishly once she was rich. She didn't even know she was rich.
That's crazy.
So, super cool. And ways you can see that in the parks today. One of the ways is in Disneyland Paris, there's a restaurant called Walt's on Main Street, and it's upstairs. And each room is themed after a different land that's in the park. So there's like an Adventureland room and a Fantasyland room and whatever, which is really cool in and of itself. But they basically made the whole menu based on that 2-page list.
Oh, that's
that cool. Walt. Yeah. So they actually offer like, it's France, so it's super bougie, but like a deconstructed Walt's chili.
That's cool.
And like, it's like in a ceramic can. And you like eat it out of the can. What?
We gotta go to Paris.
I know. After watching this series, I'm like, we need to go international. Like they have everything. They have so much cool stuff. But they have a really cool menu that's based off of that. They have something called the Thelma's potato something because Thelma was this woman, the chef for the family. So it's like themed after her. I think that's really cool. And it'd be a fun place to eat.
Absolutely.
So we got to travel.
Let's go. Paris isn't even that far.
Also, I've been hearing a lot of funny things on the internet recently about Tokyo. And it's like, yeah, the flight is expensive, but the tickets to go to Tokyo Disneyland are so cheap that it's like a no-brainer. Gotta go.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's freaking go.
Okay. Well, yes to that. That was all on your list, right?
That's all on my list. I think we should do, maybe if the people like this episode and let us know, we could do another episode about like current food things, because we have like festivals, new opening restaurants, seasonal items, mobile ordering, the dining plan. Like there's so much now in the landscape of food,
Especially at World.
especially at World. That there's, I don't know, we could talk about it for days.
Seriously. To end this episode, can you tell me your like one favorite park food right now?
Oh, do you have one in mind? I might make you go first.
I don't think I have one in mind.
It's that's actually really hard.
It really like
And I
I'm
don't.
it could be a snack or even like a meal.
I feel like yours is a corn dog nugget.
No.
No,
I mean those are good, but that can't be like your favorite.
I don't know. It's some people's favorites. Some people have like a whole hack where you take like an empty popcorn bucket, fill it with nugs, they stay warm because it's like an
No,
insulated container.
that's
You take it
aggressive.
home. Yeah. My
Um,
favorite?
People keep tagging me again in that s'more. I will say that is like next level good, but it's
At
like
the ganachery.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best s'more I've ever had. But it's like at the ganachery. I'm talking like at Disney.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
There's so
I do like love Boma.
yeah,
Just in general. I know that's like a cheater answer because it's a buffet, but I feel like Boma has like a little bit of everything, but it's not quite so generic everything. It's like
okay.
spicy.
I think
Uh,
this could. I guess this last question could go into forever because now I'm thinking something like Kyle and I. We love California Grill, and
yeah.
we've never had a bad meal there. And their like filet is so good. And we went out to dinner for our. It was like for our anniversary, and I had gotten a filet. And he was like, "How is it?" And I was like, "It's good, but it's not like California Grill good." Like we
It's
literally
the standard.
yes, we compare our food to their food. So that's got to mean something.
Totally. Well, I mean, but there's something to be said for like overlooking a castle and fireworks while you're eating a filet too.
Oh, duh. But still, the food is like top notch.
Yeah, their food is great. That's another rabbit hole you could go down. Like people have crazy battles over steak at Disney. Like right now, as far as reviews go, the best steak place is the Yachtsman,
Ooh,
which is like random.
yeah,
But people say it's better than Cellier,
interesting.
California Grill. Like
I thought of a favorite,
what?
the burger.
Oh yeah, that's actually my favorite. The Steakhouse
Yeah.
71 burger.
Yep.
It is so good.
So good.
So freaking good.
That's another item that, like, if we have a burger, like, out to eat here, I'll be like, it's good, but it's not, like, Steakhouse 71 good.
That's like, I'm spoiled obviously that I live here, but I like don't even waste an order on a burger elsewhere now. I'm just like,
Right?
why?
Exactly. Too
Yeah,
funny.
that one is great. I think we've discussed this before, but don't go into dinner expecting to get the burger at Steakhouse 71. They won't give
No.
it to you.
Gotta sit at the bar.
You gotta sit at the bar or you gotta go at lunch.
Or you can order it to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
we've ordered it to go once and, like, sat out on one of the tables by the pool.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah,
Very cool.
mobile order.
Funny that that's your thing, because if I had to name my favorite cocktail at Disney, well, actually it would be this guava thing at Steakhouse, no, at STK now. But before I had that, I would say my favorite cocktail was the Last Concourse, which is a raspberry cocktail at Steakhouse 71.
Steakhouse 71, that was like the best. Getting rid of the wave and putting that in, round of
Yes.
applause.
Yeah, agree. Round of applause.
They nailed that one.
They also have great vegan options.
For a
Like,
steak.
for a steakhouse, yeah, crazy. They have like a vegan beef Wellington. How is that even a thing?
Weird.
Yeah, amazing.
Woo. All right, this could be a whole nother episode. My bad.
I know. Now I got to think about all my foods. We should do like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a cocktail, a seasonal, all of it.
let us know if this is something that you like in our Facebook group.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to talk food.
Forever.
All right. Got anything else?
That's it.
All right. We'll chat next week.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.